Seeing performers leave us live in front of our eyes leaves a permanent mark on cultural memory. Unlike private deaths, these moments unfold in real time, before audiences who often don't realize what they are witnessing until it is too late. Across decades, across genres, and across continents, artists, athletes, entertainers, and broadcasters have collapsed, fallen, or been killed while the cameras were rolling or the audience was watching. This is not myth. This is not rumor. This is the documented history of performers whose final moments occurred during performance itself. Tommy Cooper, When Comedy Masked a Heart Attack, 1984. On April 15, 1984, British comedian and magician Tommy Cooper was performing live on television during Live from Her Majesty's, a variety show broadcast to millions. Cooper was widely known for a unique comedic style that intentionally blurred the line between mistake and mastery. His routines often involved failed magic tricks, awkward pauses, and physical clumsiness, all carefully rehearsed to appear accidental. Mid-performance, Cooper suddenly clutched his chest and fell backward onto the stage. Because of his established persona, the studio audience laughed and applauded, believing the collapse was part of his routine. Viewers at home assumed the same. Behind the scenes, however, concern escalated rapidly. Host Jimmy Tarbuck and fellow performers rushed to Cooper's side, but the television cameras continued rolling, unaware that the situation was critical. Only moments later did producers realize Cooper was not acting. Cooper had suffered a massive heart attack. While the audience waited for the next segment, medics attempted resuscitation behind the curtain. He was transported to a nearby hospital and pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Tommy Cooper was 63 years old, and his death became one of the most infamous examples of how performance personas can delay recognition of real danger. Mitsuharu Misawa, A Legend Falls in the Ring, 2009. On June 13, 2009, Japanese professional wrestler Mitsuharu Misawa died during a live wrestling match in Hiroshima. Misawa was celebrated for his high-impact, physically demanding style, combining aerial maneuvers with technical wrestling. Over decades, this style earned him legendary status and significant physical wear. That night, Misawa was participating in a tag team match. During a routine sequence, he was lifted for a suplex. The move resulted in a catastrophic spinal cord injury. Misawa collapsed in the ring and became unresponsive immediately. Unlike staged wrestling injuries, this moment was unmistakably real. The atmosphere inside the arena shifted instantly from spectacle to silence. Medical staff rushed into the ring and began CPR in full view of spectators, both in attendance and watching the live broadcast. Despite immediate intervention, Misawa was transported to a nearby hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His death marked one of the most sobering moments in professional wrestling history and reignited discussions about cumulative injuries in high-impact sports. Steve Irwin, death during documentary filming, 2006. On September 4, 2006, conservationist and television icon Steve Irwin died while filming the documentary Ocean's Deadliest. The incident occurred while snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef. Irwin encountered an 8-foot stingray, an animal that typically avoids human contact. As Irwin swam behind it, the stingray reacted defensively. In a sudden motion, the stingray whipped its tail upward, striking Irwin directly in the chest. The barb pierced his heart, causing a fatal injury. His film crew immediately pulled him from the water and attempted CPR, but the wound was unsurvivable. The incident was recorded on camera, though the footage has never been released publicly out of respect for Irwin's family. Steve Irwin was 44 years old, and his death shocked a global audience who associated him with fearlessness and boundless energy. Karl Wallenda, The Final Walk, 1978. On March 22, 1978, legendary high-wire artist Karl Wallenda died during a performance in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Wallenda, 73 years old, was attempting a tightrope walk between towers of the Condado Plaza Hotel, a stunt consistent with a career defined by risk. Strong winds buffeted the wire as Wallenda made his way across. He lost his balance and fell to his death. Although not broadcast live, the fall was captured on camera and later circulated publicly. Wallenda's death symbolized the ever-present danger in aerial performance and ended the career of a man who refused safety nets even into old age. Pedro Henrique collapsed at a festival, 2023. On March 12, 2023, Brazilian guitarist Pedro Henrique collapsed during a live music festival performance in São Paulo. Henrique, 39 years old, was known for his energetic stage presence and technical skill. At the time of his collapse, he was mid-performance. Emergency personnel responded quickly and transported him to a hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The cause was later determined to be a heart attack. Valencia Prime, loss felt beyond the stage, 2022. On September 12, 2022, Valencia Prime, a 25-year-old transgender drag performer, collapsed on stage during a live performance at Taboo Lounge and Sports Bar in Philadelphia. Prime was hosting her showcase, Prime Time, when she suddenly became unresponsive. Despite immediate medical attention, she was pronounced dead at Jefferson Hospital. The medical examiner later ruled the cause of death as atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, classifying it as natural causes. Her death sent shockwaves through the local LGBTQ+ community, where she was remembered as a vibrant and uplifting performer. Colonel Bruce Hampton, Misread Moments, 2017. On May 1, 2017, musician Colonel Bruce Hampton collapsed on stage during a concert celebrating his 70th birthday in Atlanta. The show featured musicians from across Hampton's career. Known for incorporating humor and unpredictability into performances, Hampton's collapse was initially mistaken as theatrical behavior. As minutes passed, it became clear he was in distress. He was transported to a hospital and pronounced dead later that evening. Barbara Weldon's electrocution during performance, 2017. On July 19, 2017, French singer-songwriter Barbara Weldons died during a live performance at the Léo Ferré Festival in Gourdon, France. Weldons frequently performed barefoot. During the performance, she stepped on faulty electrical equipment, receiving a fatal electric shock. She collapsed on stage and was pronounced dead at the scene. Weldons was 35 years old. Jumalon, a live broadcast turned crime scene, 2023. On November 5, 2023, Filipino radio broadcaster Juan Johnny Walker Jumalon was murdered during a live broadcast from his home studio in Misamis Occidental. Two men arrived under the pretense of making an announcement about lost items. One held a staff member at gunpoint, while the other entered the booth and shot Jumalon twice. The entire incident was captured on a Facebook live stream. Seb Hashian, final performance at sea, 2017. On March 22, 2017, Sib Hashian, drummer for the rock band Boston, collapsed while performing aboard a Legends of Rock cruise. Despite immediate medical attention, Hashian was pronounced dead. Reports later indicated he had been battling kidney cancer. Dick Shawn, When Laughter Stopped, 1987. On April 17, 1987, comedian and actor Dick Shawn collapsed while performing at the University of California, San Diego. Initially, the audience believed the collapse was part of the act. Shawn had suffered a heart attack and was pronounced dead shortly after arrival at the hospital. Lil Hardin Armstrong, a memorial that turned final, 1971. On August 27, 1971, jazz musician Lil Hardin Armstrong collapsed while performing at a televised memorial concert honoring her late husband, Louis Armstrong. She died from a heart attack en route to the hospital. She was 73 years old. Bruce and Brandon Lee, father and son, 1973, 1993. Bruce Lee died on July 20th, 1973 from cerebral edema. Brandon Lee died on March 31st, 1993 during filming of The Crow due to a prop gun failure. These deaths were not staged. They were not symbolic. They happened in real time during moments meant for creation, not tragedy. The audience watched, the cameras rolled, and history recorded the moment the show never ended.